Hey, Dave Mathews from Spark of Life. We're on a series of tips. The number one tip for grief recovery. We've gone over two number one tips. This is grief recovery number three tip. The first is not alone. You're not alone. The second is grievers don't need to be fixed. And the third is this: grief is not a sign of a weak faith. This is a big one. I only have a couple of minutes here to give you all my knowledge and wisdom about this. But here's the thing: grieving is biblical. If you're a believer in God, if you take Scripture as your authority, if you believe in Bible's principles and all that, look at Scripture. Grief is real in Scripture. Many biblical heroes cry out to God and say, "I don't like what's happened." They're lamenting, and lamenting is okay, and it doesn't mean your faith is weak. Have you ever had anybody tell you, "You just need to have more faith, you wouldn't feel so bad"? Well, that's, I know there's some truth in that faith is a big part of a grief recovery. But when I'm in deep grief and I've lost the dearest on earth to me, I am not going to feel like I have a great faith. I might be angry at God. I might not be angry with God. I might have questions for God. I might not. But don't let anybody tell you if you just had a greater faith, you wouldn't feel so bad. Now, faith is very vital as I live forward. It's very vital. Not knocking that at all. But there's a time to grieve, and grievers, just because you don't want to go to church maybe, or maybe because you don't feel like praying, or maybe you're angry with God, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with your faith, though you certainly feel like there is something wrong. But grievers need to grieve. And so don't buy into the myth that if you just had greater faith, you wouldn't ever go to the pit of grief. When I lose the dearest on earth to me, or somebody so important to my life, and they're not here anymore, or I'm, experience other loss, I have to go and grieve. And so don't buy into that there's something wrong with your faith, and others have greater faith because they don't grieve like you do. And that's our next tip coming up. At Spark of Life, there's always hope. Go to sparkoflife.org for help. We stand ready to help you and to assist you and to walk beside you. At Spark of Life, there's always hope. Have a great day.